Alright, we're back on site this afternoon because I've been running errands all morning, and we're going to start by getting this corner sorted and ready for fascia. So I need to add an additional rafter up into this corner over here in order for my fascia to be able to run all the way through and join into the existing. So there's one pre-made. Babe's just going to give us a hand to install it. Here. And what's happening is my purlin is meant to be sitting on top of this, my valley purlin, so I'm going to figure out what's going on quickly. Just do another one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Touching all three. So I'm really happy with that. I'm just screwing it in at the moment just in case, because I've got a little bit of work to do in and underneath here. I want to tidy this area up slightly as well, so it's going to be a bit of fun, but we'll make it happen. Now that I got my rafter in place, I want to make sure. Okay, rafter's in place now. Now I want to cut this fascia back to the perfect position, so when my new fascia butts into it, it's going to have a nice clean line and look really nice. So what I might do is I might just run a straight edge, I think, off my tail ends right here and butt into this, and that should give me a pretty good indication on where I need to cut this down like that. So what I've got to do is I've got to get a knob going from the back side of my fascia along the feet line through here onto my framing. But I'm never ever going to get any decent fixing over here unless I cut the fascia right off. So I've come up with a bit of solution. So I sort of just nailed a couple of bits of timber together like this. Okay, L. Then I'll go like this. Poke this in here. And you can see the nog is hard on my fascia line there. And then I can actually just shoot it from this side. Literally just nailed that there, which holds the nog in place. But we do have a few things that are in our way. So I haven't attached it hard into our framing yet because we've got an eco-ply brace that needs to get nailed on right here, sitting there. And then we need to put paper along here, and then we need to put our soffit nogging along this edge too. So what I'm going to do is when I do that soffit nogging, it's going to come in and I'm going to cut this off and have a 45mm piece of timber that this connects to through here. For the time being, I'm pretty satisfied with that, and it means we can sort of carry on with our fascia when we get to it, so the roof can get measured. So now we've got our starting point for our fascia way down there. We can bring ourselves all the way along the edge and around to this gable end here. This is our next mission. We need to install some fly rafters onto here. We also need to get some fixing in for our feet along our decorative truss. You can see that we've got these brackets in the way, so what we have to do is we have to mark and check out our 4x2 runner that runs up against here for our fixings for our feet, and then what we'll do is we will install that and then get our fly rafters up and on. I've done my share of dealing. I've already cut them, my G. Oh, yeah, for you. Bro, I've already cut my ones. What are you up to? Well, congratulations, What is it? Hey, this is cool. The next job is making sure that we've got almost a parallel line from here all the way around down to here. So if you measure off the decorative truss to the outside edge, I got 374. 375? What's a mil between friends, boys? And that will support the soffit. That's what it's detailed on the plans. It says the purlins pretty much support this gable end soffit realistically because they fly out. So we can't actually extend these too much further. Otherwise we'd have to have an outrigger that ran along as well. So I guess they should roughly be the same. And then we follow and we continue all the way around. So once that's done, boys, we'll chop this off and then we might run a string from end to end and we might have to pack a couple of these, some DBG, yeah. And then you'll be able to do the same thing on this side. I just got to go over there and get this sorted because I don't know what's happening. I guess we can do the same thing on the front face here as well. DBZ it, just in case it's in and out slightly. Once the nogs are in, still haven't quite figured out this area yet, but that doesn't mean I can't continue framing this section out. I think that's the main goal. So I need to frame this out, get my soffit edge over here, but first I need to be able to fix this wall off. That means I need to head down there and sort that out. Oh, it's always a bit of a rigmarole. Right, so we've got a bit of a mess happening right here. We've got the old paper, the old framing, we've got conduit with cables running through it, but you can see the edge of my bottom plate there, which is where my wall is going to end. I'm wanting to get a stud in here and all the way up, and I think I want to get a stud all the way up. I think I'm going to cut it long so I can check it out over our triple 240 by 45 beam that we installed. Up, high, then I can get a top plate to run all the way along here. Now that we've got all triple top plates, I'm just going to run another one along the top, probably cut the second one back a bit because we still want that double top plate, and then the third one doesn't really matter if it finishes right there. So I think the idea would be to get the stud in and then continue as I just explained. So I need to get an accurate measurement for my checkout around my RB3. That's what I'm going to call it because that's what it is on the plans. I've set up my the DWALT laser down there, and what the cool thing is about this is it does a right angle. So what I've done is I've done a parallel line off my wall line, my bottom plate down there, and set it up, and then also squared a mark on where my stud needs to go. And then what I can use that to reference up here where my RB3 is and get my line exactly where I need it. So what I've got here is I've got 100 and I go right on that point, 168. That means I've got a 12 mil checkout because I've offset. You put the level on it and get a straight look, all I know is this side is nah, right, not today. Sucker!
Well, thanks for the Facebook ad, bro.
Huh?
Thanks for the Facebook ad.
Bro! I didn't even realize that we weren't even friends on Facebook.
Bro, it's a friend request from Vinny.
So funny, bro. I was like, what the heck? Hey, Mikey, no. Where are you? Can you come over here and just clamp this on for a second? Oh, it's gonna be actually I'm gonna have an off cut. I'm gonna cut that another 45 mil lower. Should be about 16 degrees. Oh my life.
gone for sure. I found my place beside you. That's where I wanna build my home. The shadows turn to light.
We're not allowed to use the drop saw anymore, not on site, it's all just skillies. Yeah, he just needs to work on how to use his tape. That's sad as a... Okay, the boys are just setting up for fascias over there. Making sure that we're keeping our fascia heights in line with the existing over there. And I'm gonna continue to work on this area this morning. So I sort of finished framing out my corner here. That's gonna create my feet line. But I can't really move on up until I figure out what's happening with this valley. So, I mean, let's just think about this logically. We've got a valley flashing that sits in here and it's gonna come out, and honestly, I don't think the valley flashing is going to have to come out and sit on top of the roofing iron. So we've also got our fascia board that runs through here. So this section through here, I'm assuming, should get cut in line with this right here, just like that. And what that will do is that means that my fascia board can continue to run through and underneath here, if necessary. And then this section through here, I am probably going to have to, do I cut it in line like that? I think I'd almost actually cut it in line with that wall there. The reason being is my roofing iron is going to be coming up and our valley is going to have to, flashing is going to have to kink up and sit over the top of the roofing iron. Yeah, that's it. So if I cut that in line with my fascia and cut that in line with the wall where that point, intersecting point meets, that means my valley is going to sit over and then it's going to have to sit over the roofing iron through there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this fascia board out and off for now, just so we're able to get it through, and then I'm going to talk through with the roofer and see how we're going to flash this area. Beautiful. So I've temporarily attached a fly rafter, just an old bit of timber that was lying around, and that's going to get me the line for my corner right here, which is really cool. So I'll line that up. That means I can just cut straight through. So my 45 wasn't the greatest, I guess, but that's okay. Ooh. I just got our freaking fly rafter on. He's looking mint now. Look at that. So pretty much what I got to do now is just figure out what's going on in here. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. What I need to do is I need to put another outrigger probably a little bit further up through here somewhere, just to support the tail end of this fly rafter here. And then I will probably end up putting some sort of nogging in through here. What's going to happen is our cladding is going to come down, and then it's probably going to go square across like right here, and then our feet line will be up through there. So that's actually pretty neat. I can sort of see what's going on now, which is mean. So I'm just going to quickly tidy all that up, but that's that section sort of sorted. Just a few more fixings in this area over here. Probably another outrigger and some couple of purlins, just for fixing in and around this area for the roofers, just in case they need it. And then yeah, looking pretty good, I think.
So we got our Gable and fascia up. Look at that. Nice and tight on the apex, and she should be pretty straight. Look at that. Yeah. Fix it off there onto where our nogs are, and then we got our first board. We're not quite finished with this one because there's some framing to do on that end to finish our fascia, but we got the first piece in. Just pinned in for now, and yeah, I made like a little jig.
I already had it perfect. I had a perfect cut. This is cut perfectly out here.
Yeah.
nice and plumb, but obviously this isn't in the exact right position, so I have to add another one in here, just like this.
Check it out.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
See
that's
that?
quite good.
She's at level. Trying to get it plumb. But it looks like it's tell by when I line it up. If I line my line up, it goes way in here.
Brighten up my weary soul. Come and walk beside me. Feel my honest aim. I'm reaching up my hand for you to claim. So darling, don't you ever change your mind.
Saber saw time, we're going to put it together and take it apart. We're actually back on site this morning and we're finalising the last little bits and pieces for our framing inspection. One thing is, we've got to put hold down bolts. So we've actually put all our hold down bolts in the necessary areas, but we also need to bolt the bottom plate to the slab at 800 centres. So unfortunately all our nogs are at 600 centres through here, so we've got to take some of the nogs out in areas where we need a bolt because our concrete drill can't quite fit in, which is okay. You can see that, like, we don't want to drill on an angle, we want a perfectly plumb hole, I guess you could say, which we're going to go through now. We're going to go through and cut those nogs out, making sure that everything's secured down to the slab, and then obviously we work our way up. You've seen that we've already put all our truss fixings in, all the way along, our rafter fixings in, which connects everything together. Our little thing about our triple top plate, we've gone through and put our SL125s in, which is pretty cool, which is connecting our studs to our top plate, and then of course we want to connect our purlins to our trusses, which is those little blue screws that we've gone through and done. So I guess that's a bit of a rundown quickly of all our fixings that we need to do. Our eco plies in. Oh, should we do a what's the time, Mr. Wolf?
What's that one?
Huh? It's a new segment.
Oh, is it?
What's the time, Mr. O? What's the time? What's the time, Mr. O?
And it's actually Mikey's time.
What's this?
Okay, sweet. All right, so let's run through, we'll do a fixings thing, okay? Fixings questionnaire.
Okay.
So, what are our jib handy brakes doing?
It's holding our areas which needs bracing.
Yep.
So hold it down from segments of our building needs distance of bracing, and that's what it's doing, is tying that section together where it's
Yep. And then what is the bracing for? What kind of event?
earthquakes.
There you go. So in case of an earthquake, we need to have, that's a hold down, right? But those can also be used for what? Not only earthquakes, but
Yeah. Heavy winds like NATOs and stuff.
tornadoes as well. So those are a multi-purpose fixing, right?
Yeah.
Because they hold the lateral movement of our braces, which also tie down into the slab, right? Okay, so if we're moving along, we've obviously got the same thing for our bolts that hold the bottom plate down.
Yep.
That's an uplift thing, isn't it? So we move on up or across to our eco-ply brace.
Yeah. So that's also acting the same thing, but specifically stated in the plans of the bracing it is. So it needs eco-ply bracing, but also needs the handy brake. So it's an extra precautionary.
Yep, nice. Then we move up. We've got what's next? We've got our SL 175s and 125s.
So we have our stud locks that connects our top plate to our studs. So in case of uplift of tornadoes, as it lifts, it's all connected down from the top plate to studs to bottom plate to slab.
That's right. Okay, and then we move on up. We've got our rafters and our trusses that need to be connected to our top plate.
Yeah, it's connected by CPC 40s on each side.
Yep.
It's all specified in the roof plan.
Yep.
It's connected by
75mm screws.
Tech screws, actual galvanized with some product nails.
Yeah.
35mm.
30mm. 30mm by 3.15.
3.15 chat. And on each one, and then for our rafters, it's CPC 80s on one side.
Yep.
All
perfect.
screws.
And then what about the top of our rafters?
On the top, it's connected to our I-beam, which is connected by a multi-grip.
Yep.
It acts as also an uplift for the top end,
Yeah,
it's
and a connection point for that
connection
as well,
point
right?
for each 35 mil.
14 gauge, yeah, that's right. Okay, and then what do we got on top of our trusses and our rafters?
So, our strap braces.
Yeah,
So Asha wasn't here, but
yeah, but what does it do? What does it do?
It stops the lateral movement.
Yeah.
That say side to side or back to front.
And then the next one up?
Yeah, so those are tensioned, and then it's our 4x2 purlins.
Yeah.
Specified by the plans and nailed on each one, and also has specific screws called blue screws to lock it in place, and it also acts as important fixing for our uplift as well and our lateral movement.
The lateral movement of the building. If
Yeah.
there's no purlins on and it moves, and then you put your purlins on and then it doesn't, because you're fixing all these different points.
Because
But
our roof is going to be fixed
but
to our
it's-
purlins, and the purlin
yeah.
needs to be fixed properly to our...
yeah, that's it, bro.
Easy.
So look at that. He understands what the different fixing points do for the different stages of the job, I guess you could say. That means he understands uplift and also lateral movement of the building,
Yeah.
which is something important to keep into consideration when you're doing your apprenticeship. These little bits and pieces are fairly important, and knowing what needs to go where as well is good to know. But anyway, that was, what's the time, Mr. Wolf?
What's the time?
I wish Fabian was here, because that would have been up. But that's okay, maybe we can do him next time.
Yeah, next time.
But well, I think there's going to be a new segment just so we can inform on what we're doing and how we're doing it.
And the why.
And the why. It's good for the young fellas to know that, so. Holy heck. So in this situation here, we've got our double sill here. We're going to have to remove to be able to get a hold down fixing in there. But the good thing about removing this is we're actually going to be removing this whole window now. There's no need for it here. It's not really doing anything. You're looking into your house over here. So we're actually going to take this out, and we'll just whip a new stud in right in the middle, so we don't have to replace any of this sill or anything, which is good. Now I also need to get a bolt in right here. The reason being is we need to bolt each end of our bottom plate. So I'm going to take this stud out as well. Okay, fixing myself back on this damn corner right here. What I've done is, this was the stud that I put in previously to connect my top plate to get this nice and straight. I've then put this little ripping in that's bugle screwed to the existing stud, because we need to get an additional strap along this point here. And then I've gone through and I've actually made this sort of big nog, I guess you could say, or big stud that's going to sit in here. It's going to close all this area off. The only thing is I need to be able to take that back out when it comes to flashing this area in. First thing I need to take into consideration is we need to do either a chase flashing or some sort of flashing that attaches to this brick that wraps around, sits on top of our cavity over here. And the second thing is our paper. Our new paper wants to slide in behind this old stuff and wrap around onto the existing building line. So if I do the paper first, then I can't get to the flashing. So I need to do the flashing and then the paper. So it's a bit of a rigmarole, but for now I just want to get the framing in, so I'm going to screw it in place. Hopefully it goes in. Looks like my stud and stuff is a little too long, so I'll mark that, recut it. Oh, that's me. Look at that. Beautiful. So you can see now why I've actually just screwed this in place so I can remove it, because it's going to be impossible for me to do any work in this area. I have to do it from internally. So yeah, just thinking ahead on that one. So now I've got to think about what kind of flashing I'm going to use and stuff like that, but I'm really happy with how that's looking. Next mish. fascia. Get our fascia board on through here now, I reckon. So we're coming in to install this fascia board through here. Now I always like to use an offcut when I'm trying to figure out the different cuts. You can see up there going around the valley, and then I'm also cutting into the wall line across here. So I always use this to offcut, measure it, mark it, and just put that in, and then I can use that and replicate that onto the board that we actually need now. So if we get a length, Mikey, so I'm 2,460 to that, so if I go 2,427 to be on the safe side.
Stop using chat. I'm good there. How are you?
I gotta meet up with my other fascia.
Okay, you good then? I'm gonna shoot.
You guys got that fucking munch, bro.
Yes, sir.
What are you up to? Get back outside!
Yeah, alright.
Holy moly! That's crazy!
Pretty good. I like it. My frame is right where I joined in.
Well, it's it. They just put the fascia on. That's alright, I just need two in the fascia.
Oh,
And that's gonna wrap up this week's video, guys. We frickin' smashed it! You frickin' leave down a comment down below and up the wolfies, eh?
Up the wolfie.
Oh, we're frickin' in the rain on a Friday afternoon, eh? Can't beat it. Can't beat him, join him.
Exactly.
We'll catch you on the next one. We've got the frickin' roof going down and we've got the frickin' paper going up. Well, maybe. What?
Woo!
What was that, Mikey? Bro.